Viva Hate is the debut solo studio album by English musician Morrissey. It was released on March 14, 1988 by record label HMV, 6 months after the final album by Morrissey's band The Smiths, Strangeways, Here We Come. Background: Viva Hate was produced by Stephen Street, who enlisted Vni Riley of the Girotti column as the album's guitarist. At the exception of Suedhead, Riley created music for all of the tracks with Morrissey as lyricist. However, when about to be involved in this project, Riley agreed to leave the songwriting credits to Stephen Street. Viva Hate was originally going to be called Education in Reverse. The album was recorded between October and December 1987. Release: Viva Hate was released on March 14, 1988 by record label HMV. There was some controversy caused by the track Margaret on the Guillotine, which described the death of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher as a wonderful dream. The American release included the track Hairdresser on Fire, which had been released in the UK as a B-side to Suedhead, as track 9. This same track was released on a 7" single that was sold with the album in Japan. It was certified gold by the RIAA on November 16, 1993. In 1997, EMI, in celebration of their 100th anniversary, released a remastered special edition of this album in the UK. It features different cover art and a different booklet as well as 8 bonus tracks, only one of which was contemporaneous with the album. Hairdresser on Fire does not appear on this version. A newly remastered, special edition of Viva Hate, supervised by Stephen Street, was released on April 2, 2012. This edition controversially omits, along with the name of Vni Riley, one of the original album's tracks, The Ordinary Boys, and includes the session outtake Treat Me Like a Human Being. Also, the extended fade-out of Late Night, Magdalen Street has been changed. Stephen Street has said that he felt these changes were a mistake but that the track selection was changed at Morrissey's insistence. Hairdresser on Fire, again, is also not included on this edition. Additionally, the typeface font on the front cover has been changed. Reception: Viva Hate was generally well received by critics. Rolling Stone called the album a tight, fairly disciplined affair, in comparison of his sound to that of the Smiths. In its retrospective review, Pitchfork called the album one of Morrissey's most interesting records, and certainly his riskiest, and that its strange mix of pomp and minimal anger makes Viva Hate the only Morrissey LP you'd consider listening to just for its music. A negative review came from Spin, who wrote, without guitarist-composer Johnny Marr at his side, the Mahatma of mope rock seems to have gone out for a nice depressing stroll without noticing that he didn't have a stitch to wear. Viva Hate was listed by Q as one of the top 50 albums of 1988. Track listing: Etchings on Vinyl, Original Version, Education in Reverse None, 2012 version, Bloodbaths I Have Known SBA. Personnel: Morrissey vocals, lyricist, sleeve art, Stephen Street bass, guitar, songwriter, producer, Vni Riley guitars, music, keyboards, Andrew Percy drums, additional personnel, Richard Costa violin, Vanilla Barton violin, Rachel Maguire cello, Mark Davis cello, Robert Woolhard cello, John Metcalf viola, Steve Williams assistant engineer, Anton Corbett photography, Linda Sterling photography, Eamon Macabre photography, Joe Slayer art coordinator, Karen Goff layout assistants. Charts, album. References. External links: Viva Hate at Discogs.